Doak Campbell Stadium right now with an absolutely beautiful day at 6:01 p.m. Currently 67 degrees and sunny, winds about 7 miles per hour from the east-northeast. So not a lot to complain about today for one of our first few days of what you could really call Florida spring here in March. Satellite and radar looking at a fairly dry setup for here in North Florida. Maybe South Florida seeing a few showers and thunderstorms around the Miami and maybe Fort Lauderdale areas, but not too much for you in the way of severe weather or anything too bad for you guys down there. Here in Tallahassee, tonight it's going to be about 41 degrees and clear, winds about 5 miles per hour. So again, not too bad of a night for us here compared to particularly these last few nights where we had a lot of rain. Tomorrow, 72 degrees and sunny, winds about 5 miles per hour. And tonight we're going to talk about a lot of sunshine here, the Great Floridian warm-up, as we always do have, and what's WWE. We're going to tell you all of that tonight on tonight's edition of FSU Weather.
Good afternoon, I'm student meteorologist Josh Green. We've got clear skies heading into our sunset over Florida State's Doak Campbell Stadium. We are currently sitting at 67 degrees, sunny clear skies with winds coming out of the east-northeast at around 7 miles per hour. In the North Florida and southern Georgia area right now, we've got completely clear skies, no cloud cover or rain on the radar to talk about right now. We've seen a bit of a flare-up down a little bit east of Panama City, but other than that, clear skies for the entirety of our viewing area. Zooming out a bit to the southeast and Atlantic regions, you can see it to our north, clear skies, no cloud cover, but a bit to our south, we've got this line of cloud cover that's covering the Atlantic and heading into South Florida right now. The Palm Beaches and Miami regions are experiencing some scattered showers, but no thunderstorms to talk about down there. Just some scattered showers going to pass through into the evening hours. For current temperatures right now, here in Tallahassee, we are sitting at 67 degrees. Up in Thomasville, 64. Bainbridge is sitting at 66. Down here in Apalachicola, sitting at 61. And over in Valdosta, they're sitting at 65 degrees. As for our dew points, we've got very dry dew points in our entire viewing area. 26 here in Tallahassee, significantly lower than the current temperatures, which is going to make for very dry air, no mugginess, a very nice evening to go out and go for a walk. 28 down there in Perry, and also 28 up in Valdosta. Over the next 24 hours, we're going to see a very similar story. No cloud cover, no rainfall. You can see a bit of a pop out of cloud cover over on the west side of the Florida Panhandle, but for the rest of North Florida and southern Georgia and Alabama, no rain to talk about as for today. And for tomorrow, we will be walking on sunshine. We're going to wake up to a nice 50 degrees. You might need a little jacket when you head out in your morning walk or on your way to work. But as we head into the afternoon hours, we'll be getting up to 72 degrees at 3 p.m. Very sunny, t-shirt, shorts weather, perfect day. As for the week ahead, for tomorrow, we've got a high of 72, and those conditions will persist through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend. We've got lows going to be mostly in the upper 40s and lower 50s. As we make our way to the weekend, you can see Saturday and Sunday, cloudy conditions, not too cloudy, but we'll see some partly coverage for our sports that we'll also see this weekend. Saturday, we're getting up very, very summer-like weather almost, but of course we're heading right into spring. 81 degrees on Saturday, 80 on Sunday, with lows in the upper 50s. But as for Monday, we may see some stormy conditions come across into earlier next week with a high of 76. But as for now, Tyler is going to give us a look more at the southeast.
Thanks, Josh. And really, the regions in the southeast are experiencing a lot of the same conditions as Florida, and that's because we have a high-pressure system dominating the weather in the southeast. So along the coastline, things are feeling a little bit cooler in South Carolina. Charleston's at 54 degrees, Jacksonville at 56. And as we move more to the west and then into central and South Florida, those temperatures start to pick up a little bit. Tampa currently at 70 degrees, Tallahassee, nice 67 degrees, and then moving further west, Jackson's going to be our hot spot at 72 degrees right now. And this high pressure system really helps keep things dry in the southeast. With all the sinking air from above coming in, it really gets rid of a lot of the moisture here. So that's why we're seeing such clear skies here in the southeast. Although Slightly different once we get into central and south Florida, because the way that high pressure system works, we have clockwise rotation. So we do have winds coming from the east in central and south Florida, and that's what's bringing in the moisture there. So Orlando seeing wind speeds at 16 miles per hour right now from the coming from the northeast. Miami 12 miles per hour with those easterly winds. Still seeing some windy conditions in Louisiana and New Orleans as well, though. 17 miles per hour there in Shreveport and 10 miles per hour in New Orleans. And because we're seeing some moisture come into central and south Florida, we do see some very scattered rainfall there just north of Miami. Kind of resembling a sea breeze almost, but we're not quite there yet. We're going to wait till the summertime to get something like that. And with the sea breeze, you'd see those showers persist a lot more, but these ones are dying off fairly quickly because there simply just isn't enough instability in central and south Florida right now to really support those showers. So really mostly just moisture driven once we get over the land. It is warm enough to support some shower activity, but nothing too powerful. And the upper level water vapor is really showing that. You're seeing just the brown and black colors, which means that we don't have deep cloud columns over the southeast, even South Florida too. So without having really deeper cloud columns, you're not going to get conditions that will really support a lot of rainfall. And over the next 48 hours, you're going to see this same pattern continue throughout central and south Florida with just some scattered rainfall, nothing severe in nature. You're going to see in the western part of the southeast, the cloud coverage will start to come back in. But for tonight, going to be pretty cold in Georgia and South Carolina. Miami's actually going to stay fairly warm at 65 just because of all that humidity in the air. And then tomorrow's forecast for the southeast, just going to continue to warm things up for everyone. Now I'm going to pass things off to Josh to look at our lifestyle forecast.
Thanks, Tyler. We've got a lot going on this week and heading into this weekend with this such beautiful weather that we've got. Here's some live looks right now at FSU's Sportsplex Complex. A nice look at the sunset over St. George Island as well as Panama City. And over here at the Res on Lake Bradford, we've got very nice conditions all over our viewing areas. As for airport delays, we're not seeing any delays right now, none in our area at Tallahassee International, with sunny skies with a current temperature of 67 degrees. These conditions will probably stay the same as we can see for most of the southeast region, Tallahassee and Atlanta. As we make our way a little bit more west, Dallas and Los Angeles, they've also got sunny conditions in the low 60s, so we won't see any much delays there. Up in the northeast at JFK, they've got snowy conditions with a bit of a possibility, but it's most likely there will not be any delays in that area as well. As for our dog walking forecast, for tomorrow, 7 a.m., we'll be waking up to a pretty cold temperature of 42 degrees. Make sure to bring that jacket when you wake up in the morning on the walk. But as we make our way into the latter portions of the morning, we're definitely going to see these temperatures rise significantly. We've got a 20-degree increase over a span of 4 hours. So definitely a change of clothes will be in store early in the morning. For our FSU Home Baseball, we've got a game tomorrow actually at 4 p.m. We're going to have clear sunny skies at 72 degrees versus our rival USF. And FSU Home Softball, Thursday through Saturday, every night at the same time, 6 p.m. Just like FSU weather, we'll have clear sunny skies at 75 degrees, and we'll be taking on UNC. For our weekend rec forecast, 80 degrees high. Fun in the sun is the moral of the story for this weekend, with winds 5 to 10 miles per hour coming out of the southeast. And for our beach forecast, definitely want to bring the sunscreen for that. It's going to be 84 degrees with a low rip current risk, so it's a nice time to finally get in that water after a cold winter. And for our stargazing forecast tonight, clear skies, so you know what that means. We're going to have great viewing conditions. Tonight, our sunset fast approaching. It's going to be at 6:41 with a sunrise tomorrow at 6:55 a.m. We are currently exiting a full moon, so it's 87% full still, but it's a waning gibbous at the time. And as for our weekend planner, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to have full of sunshine with lows in 50 to low 60s. And make sure to check on that. This Sunday, we were going to be springing forward an hour to account for daylight savings time. But as for now, we're going to pass things off to the desk with Robert.
Thank you, Josh. As he was saying, really nice conditions here, as you can see on the weekend planner here in Tallahassee and across most of North Florida. But that isn't always the case. If you've seen over the last few weeks, we've seen some showers and storms here and across most of the south and south central areas. They're actually seeing a potential threat for severe weather going into the next few weeks. So when severe weather threatens your area, what are you supposed to do? Well, one thing is you can check on ahead of time when severe weather is expected, so you'll be knowing when to prepare. One great resource for this is, of course, weather.gov. You can go up to the top left side of that website, type in your address, and it'll tell you your exact weather forecast for your area. Another great resource is the Storm Prediction Center at spc.noaa.gov. Another great website that shows categorized risk forecast for severe weather across the entire United States of America. So these are great resources, along with, of course, your local news media and hopefully us, that will show you when severe weather is likely to happen. But what should you do when it's imminent? Well, first of all, you should get a NOAA weather radio ahead of time. Those will always inform you when warnings or watches are posted for your area. But when a severe thunderstorm or tornado warning is issued, here's what you should do. When there's a severe thunderstorm warning in the area, head indoors immediately. Don't wait, don't take some time, just head indoors immediately and make sure that you are staying indoors after the storm because lightning can strike your area even after the storm has left. But if you have some time beforehand, maybe tie down some things, take some things inside, and move your car into a garage in case of a hail threat. But a lot of people are obviously wondering about a tornado warning because that is a big threat around here in the south and even in the plains. So what should you do when you're notified of a tornado warning in your area? Well, first, immediately head to a room in the lowest level of your house or building, and hopefully this room will be an interior building away from exterior windows or walls. This is, of course, to protect you from the tornado as it moves into your area. If you are outside in a mobile home or in a car driving somewhere, find the immediate nearest structural building that's built, not a building that isn't tied down like a mobile home. Maybe go to like a gas station or a restaurant, just somewhere that is safe, that is structurally sound from a tornado, and do not go to an overpass because those, despite the myths, actually sort of provide a wind tunnel effect that are often very dangerous for people who are hiding from tornadoes and provide no serious protection from a tornado. And also, don't waste your time on things like closing windows or opening windows, That is often a myth with tornadoes. That doesn't provide you any protection at all either. So make sure you take all of these precautions when you hear a warning in the area. And one other thing is maybe take something for your head, like a sort of pillow or something when you're going to your safe area from a tornado to protect you from any flying debris. So this is all that we've got for when you got a severe weather coming into the area. Make sure you stay posted, stay tuned for any sort of weather. And now I'm going to throw things back to the wall to talk about more of our weather.
Thanks, Robert. It's very important to stay prepared before a disaster. You always want to have your emergency action plan ready and know what to do in the case of these different disasters. We're going to take a look more nationally now. Down here in the southeast in Tallahassee and Atlanta, we're currently sitting at 67 degrees. A bit to the northeast, you can see this is probably the coldest region right now, with Boston sitting at 34, D.C. sitting at 52. Looking a bit to the west in the Great Plains region, Chicago 60 degrees, and Minneapolis 55. We've got very warm temperatures up in this middle region of the United States right now. And in the Pacific Northwest, they're also seeing some chilly temperatures, 50 degrees up in Seattle. As for our current dew points, very dry conditions throughout the entire country. 10 over there in Salt Lake City, 21 down in Albuquerque. Got to look out for those because of those fire warnings in those areas right now. For the southern Texas and southern Florida regions, of course, those guys are a bit on the higher ends with more muggy conditions and rain moving through those areas. As for our satellite and radar right now, here's that rain in southern Florida because of that high pressure system sitting over us and the rest of the southeast right now. They're going to be experiencing a little bit of rain throughout the evening hours. And a bit to the west, we've got this weak frontal system here and a lot of action up here, a lot of cloud cover, random scattered showers that'll be moving throughout the western region of the United States. And a bit to the east right now, they're experiencing a lot of snow cover in the northern New York regions. Over here, we've got some active alerts. These dark pink areas are fire hazards because of those very dry and low dew points. Something to look out for right now. We've got scattered green over the southeast. Those are river warnings because of that rain that we saw last week. Those rivers are still subject to some flooding. And in the southeast right now, we can see we got a small craft advisory in effect. As for the northeast, here's that snow cover that is moving through upstate New York right now that will be pushing its way into southern Canada and possibly into Maine but the rest of the Atlantic coast right now is clear. Moving west into the Great Plains regions, we can see we've got a lot of cloud cover moving across right now, but not much to talk about in the form of precipitation. In the southeast, we can see they've got some rain moving through the area right now, which is good for them because of those fire warnings that we saw. They've got very, very high drought conditions right now on the drought monitor. So it's good for these regions to be getting that rain, something to look out for as temperatures continue to increase into the spring and summer months. In the southeast right now, you can see there's that rainfall down there making its way through South Florida and into the Miami regions. The rest of the southeast is clear. As for tonight, we've got mild conditions around the country with colder in the northeast, and as for tomorrow, we'll see a very similar story with high temperatures in the middle of the country. As for now, here's Robert with a look more locally.
Right, thank you, Josh. As he was saying, we're seeing these fairly nice conditions around most of the nation, and that's really exemplified here in this nice photo of Doak Campbell Stadium. Nice sun setting outside of course, the most beautiful stadium in the world. Nice, beautiful conditions here, and temperature-wise, it's also beautiful. Currently 67 degrees, mostly clear, and only about a 7-mile-per-hour wind from the east-northeast. So very nice conditions today if you're out walking, maybe Landis Green, walking around, maybe FSU here. Take advantage of these conditions while you have them. You know, Florida, we see a lot of rain. Nice sunny conditions here. Satellite and radar really showing these nice dry conditions for most of the southeast here. Again, this high pressure, as Tyler mentioned earlier, is sort of keeping all those conditions suppressed. You might see a little showers and thunderstorms off towards the southeast here, maybe just near the I-4 corridor that are on the back of this high pressure system, but nothing really for us here in Tallahassee. Winds really showing this here. Not too much to talk about here in the way of winds, maybe about a 7-mile-per-hour wind here in the metro, maybe 7-mile-per-hour to near Apalachicola too. But again, very nice conditions right now and very dry conditions, which I think are nice, but some of you guys, this might be a little bit on the drier end here. 27, 26, maybe might get up to 30 in Thomasville, but again, these dew points are very dry here in Florida and are keeping these conditions basically not wet at all. No stormy conditions, and it's not feeling muggy, which is really nice for being in spring here in Florida when it usually feels like a big soup that you're in. It's nice temperatures-wise, looking at your 60s here in Georgia, here in Florida too, also very nice. Going to be a little cooler down in Apalachicola near the Gulf. That's kind of a new one here, but 67 Tallahassee, 66 Quincy. Again, these temperatures going into the evening hours are very nice here. And looking at your cloud cover and satellite, not showing a lot, maybe a few high clouds showing up near Alabama and western areas of Florida. But again, as we go through the next 24 hours, not seeing a lot. Day planner forecast, again, showing how we're seeing these really nice conditions. That's the weather story of the night tonight. Looking at walking on sunshine, 50s, going to be our high of about 72 degrees in tomorrow. But again, with not a lot of storms and not too bad wind-wise, looking at these really nice, really calm conditions through most of the end of the week. Might seeing a little bit of a chance of rain sort of ramp up as you get towards the beginning of next week, but savor these conditions, Tallahassee, as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, seeing a nice 70s for our highs and 50s for lows. I remember a few weeks ago we had those nice 30s and 20s for lows. We're out of that, out of the fields of those, Tallahassee. We'll get nice 50s here, almost getting up to 60 for our low here Friday and Saturday. Again, beautiful conditions here. Maybe watching that chance of rain on Monday, 40%, and a 76 for our high. But again, really nice conditions for us here in Tallahassee. Savor them because more rain is on the way in our future.
All right, thanks, Robert. We're going to switch things off now to our FSU weather educational segment today. Going to be talking about the WWE, but unfortunately it's not wrestling. Can't talk about my favorite wrestler, John Morrison, mayor of Slamtown. We're talking about watches, warnings, and emergencies instead, but I love meteorology as well. So let's get into it. I'm going to talk about the differences between these three things. So these the yellow color you're seeing in the background here, that's a tornado watch. So watches basically tell you that a certain type of weather is possible and you should prepare accordingly just in case that it takes place. So that's what all the yellow here is showing. Typically, these watches encapsulate entire counties, not just specific areas, just to keep as many people out on watch as possible. The next level up is a warning. In this case, we're looking at a tornado warning. That would mean a tornado is expected and may actually already be happening as well. So you should act as if there is already severe weather taking place, in this case a tornado, and you should seek shelter. warnings do not take over entire counties. They are placed in the way of the path of, let's say, a tornado to show where it could end up impacting. So not quite as large of a scale as a tornado watch, but a tornado warning, very serious. So anytime you see a warning, that's whenever you want to take action. So a watch, once again, just means the conditions are favorable for a certain event to take place. The event is not taking place yet, but this gives you time to review your plans and prepare now, because there's a chance that something could happen in the future, and that's whenever the warning comes into place. It means that the event is possibly happening right now or will be happening very soon. So you want to take action and take shelter, because it's better to be safe than sorry. You don't want to be stuck with a tornado warning and a tornado actually happening and being caught unprepared. So warnings are definitely a very serious event. They need to be taken seriously. And then emergencies, outlooks aren't really issued for emergencies, because that means that the event is happening right now and it is dangerous. You should have already executed your plan, but if not, now is the time to do it. Emergencies, really the most serious thing there. So you just want to be on the outlook for all of these things and just be weather aware to make sure severe weather does not impact you in a negative way. But now we're going to pass things off to Robert with a look at the whole state of Florida.
Right, thank you, Tyler. Of course, these are very important things. As we're saying, we're going into severe weather season. Always important to know your watches, warnings, and emergency, and have a NOAA weather radio to sort of know when these things are happening. But right now across Florida, again, our conditions are fairly nice here. Looking at 60s for most of North Florida, getting a little bit warmer as we head on towards Tampa, Fort Myers, Key West, maybe peaking into the 70s there, but again, not really too much in the way of hot conditions here yet. We're still in this sort of spring transition phase. Very nice, as you'll see here. A little bit in the way of rain down near Fort Lauderdale, Miami, South Florida areas. That's not really going to be impacting us, however, though, because there's a big high pressure system here sort of keeping all this stuff on the outer fringes of it here, maybe impacting you guys near the Space Coast and Miami. You can see these showers and thunderstorms are not terribly in the way of severe. These are just maybe a few quick rain bursts as you go down the I-95 corridor into the Keys, maybe making these roads just a little bit wet. So just maybe stay tuned for that just in case. But again, no hail or any sort of spin-up threats with these storms, as these are just maybe harmless showers for you guys in Miami. As you can see, fairly nice conditions here, 70s for you guys in Miami, not even hitting 80 yet, excuse me, which is an absolutely great sign for you guys. Very nice on the way of rain too, not a lot, but maybe seeing 7 to 20% chance of rain through your next few days here. And as we move up to Tampa, again, fairly nice conditions, maybe hitting 82 here as we go into Thursday, but rain is even better than Miami, only seeing single-digit chance of rain, and maybe a high cloud or two moving into your next few days. Orlando, same story here for you guys, maybe just a tad bit cooler because you guys are a little bit more north on that I-4 corridor, but again, seeing maybe just a few high clouds and only single-digit chances of rain. Very nice conditions, particularly compared to Miami. Seeing a few of these showers and storms moving into Port St. Lucie, but not a lot in the way of severe weather here. And as we go on the I-4 corridor, nothing even to see there. Just beautiful conditions to enjoy here as we start spring here in Florida. Moving up towards Jacksonville, again, the same story. Maybe a few high clouds off the Palm Coast and Daytona Beach. But again, not seeing a lot as the way of bad conditions, just really good conditions. That's our weather story tonight. Moving towards Jacksonville, nice 60s and 70s here, only single-digit chances of rain. And up here in North Florida, in our neck of the woods, 70s and single-digit chances of rain. Nice high pressure, keeping these conditions basically very nice and dry here. So now for one last look at our local, I'm going to pass things off to Tyler.
Thank you, Robert. Here's tomorrow's forecast for all of Florida. Going to be pretty warm, of course. Going to continue that warming trend here in the state of Florida and Tallahassee as well. So here's Doak Campbell Stadium. Take a good look at this sunset, because this is going to be the last week that you're going to be able to see a sunset like this on FSU weather, because Sunday we're going to have time to spring forward by an hour for daylight savings time. So the sun's going to be higher in the sky right around this time next week. Currently 67 degrees and a beautiful sunset because the skies are clear, no clouds to really block your view there. And I'm sure everyone in the southeast and the Big Bend region is seeing a beautiful sunset right now, because there's really no cloud coverage at all. You're not seeing anything until you start moving to the west, getting into western Louisiana and eastern Texas. For the Big Bend region right now, starting to cool down as that sun sets. 67 degrees in Tallahassee. Our northern regions a little bit cooler. Thomasville at 63, and then Valdosta, you guys are at 65 degrees right now. And these dry conditions are going to persist through the evening and the rest of the night, and really this whole week. You're going to see these dew points stay pretty low. That's because the high pressure is pretty much almost right over us. It's a little bit to our northeast, but we're not on the outer fringes of it, so we're not getting any moisture from this. There's a lot of sinking air that keeps things cool. And because those dew points are so low, your heat index, which shows you how warm it actually feels outside, that's going to be the exact same temperature as the actual temperature that you saw earlier. So basically going to be the same whenever you don't have a lot of moisture in the air. And we have some slightly breezy conditions in the Big Bend region, but the winds are all over the place, fairly light for the most part, so you might feel a little bit of a breeze, but it's not going to make much of an impact on our weather here in the Big Bend. In the next 24 hours, believe it or not, this actually is a time lapse. No clouds moving through the region at all for the Big Bend. So as you go into tomorrow, for your day planner, walking on sunshine, it would be a great day to go for a walk pretty much any time throughout the day. In the morning might be a little bit cool at 50 degrees at 9 a.m., but it heats up pretty quickly whenever you don't have any cloud coverage, so it'll be 66 degrees at 12 p.m., and then getting into 3 p.m. going to be 72 degrees. And each day throughout the week, we're going to see those high temperatures just continue to get bumped up by a couple of degrees. Wednesday, that high temperature going to be 74 degrees. Thursday, 76. Friday, getting up to 79. And then we finally crack back into the 80s for this weekend for Saturday and Sunday. No rain chances, though, until we get to Monday. Once we get there, about a 40% chance, but we'll continue to watch out for that as we go throughout this week and into the weekend. Now we're going to close out the show at the desk with Josh.
Thanks, Tyler. And yes, the moral of the show today is very sunny, dry conditions for the rest of our week and heading into our weekend. So it's good to get outside and get a chance to enjoy these new warm temperatures that we've been experiencing since that cold winter. We've got a lot of weekend activities in store. We've got baseball and softball games for the entirety of this weekend, so make sure to try to check those out. But as we head into early next week, as you just saw on that 7-day, we have some uncertainties, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as we move through the rest of this beautiful week. We also touched on a couple different important things to note, such as watches, warnings, and effects that Tyler showed us about. So it's important to know the differences between those and what each of them means so you can prepare effectively. And Robert also showed us some different ways that we can prepare for disasters, as different disasters do have different ways that you need to prepare for them so that you can stay safe. And it's also important to have an emergency action plan for each different disaster in your area. But as for now, you can give us a follow on Twitter at FSU Weather, and you can give us a like on Facebook at the same tag, FSU Weather. And you can also watch us live on YouTube when we stream Monday through Friday, also at FSU Weather. And give us a follow on Instagram at FSU Weather as well. We'd love to see your local Tallahassee weather photos, and we'll post those on our Instagram. But as for the rest of the show today, we want you to enjoy the week and the weekend. And let's hope for warm temperatures to come. And daylight saving time is on Sunday. But as for today, I'm Josh Green. This has been FSU Weather.